ended up releasing the project outside of having that one song on the radio. So as of right now, the Wet album is the only album that I release. And I mean, pretty much I have a whole another album ready, but I'm still promoting the Wet album right now, man. And it's making waves.
Yeah, because,
it's making waves, to say the least, man.
Because next time when we speak on my podcast, I want to, after I listen to it, I really want to go through every track and stuff and just, ask you, like, the reasons about it. Because I would ask you now, but, like, I haven't listened to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see, like, the different titles and things like that, but I rather want to hear it first, and then, talk to you about it, about each track and stuff like that. But that could be for another episode, for another day.
Yeah.
You said
what I can say about the album, man, me as an artist, man, being independent, I want to be very careful about how I word this. Because I'm not against anybody, man. I want to love everybody. I just want to spread love with my music. But at the same time, I am definitely 100% a heterosexual male, and that's it. So I just wanted to give, it's the kids that listen to the music. So I think it's important for the kids to see a straight up and down, like, male figure that that's passionate about females and not afraid to say it, and just putting that music out there. Because a lot of this stuff that's coming out is pretty iffy and borderline. Like, you got guys calling guys bad, and I'm just not like that.
Yeah, I feel you.
So so that's a big thing in my music, man. So, but like you said, next time we'll dig deeper into that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could dig deep into that, because just the other day I heard Offset had apologized about a lyric he said about, like, the homosexuals. To me, I feel like in today's, like, I'm like you, I love everybody. Like, one thing I'm still trying to understand, one set of people I'm still trying to understand, because I'm not ignorant. I just want, one day I want to, when they meet them, and just see, like, just want to know, like, why they did it, and, like, what I'm trying to say, like, what made them want to do it, like, how do they feel about it, It's the transsexuals, like, that's something that I'm still trying to, because the gays and the bis and the lesbians and all that stuff, it's like, about it, because they open about it more. The more you talk about it, the more you understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, gay friends and stuff like that, growing up and stuff. Very cool people. Have some family members that are gay. Cool people, but the transsexual, like, community is something that I'm still trying to, get used to. Still trying to, like, figure out, like, what's up and stuff. But that, we could talk about that, another day and stuff like that. But let's get into a family. Okay. You said you married?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm married, man. And I'll let you know the other day, man, I feel like my wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. She's my biggest supporter. I'm her biggest supporter. And definitely without her, I wouldn't be here, man, because, like I said, I'm at the point with my music to where I'm not even listening to music because, it's so crazy. But before I got started, this really got started with me getting back into music. We just used to be riding in a car, and I used to tell her, like, I could kill all these songs on the radio, and so she would just be like, do it, and I'll start freestyling to the song, and then when I was done, like, her mouth would just be wide open, like, yo, the stuff you said was better than the person on the radio even said. She was just like, yo, you have to do music.
That's what's up.
And I used to explain to her, like, it's a difference between, just having fun, because that was just, like, fun for me. So that's real light. And I was explaining to her, like, I could freestyle when I'm not doing music serious, but once I start, actually creating songs and doing music from the bottom up, it's not a game for me. And so we had those conversations, and she was telling me to go for it. So I'm telling her, it's going to be times when I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be times when I was just getting her prepared. Like, are you ready for that? She was just like yeah. And like I said, she's my biggest supporter. I even have, females that I used to work with come to me like, yo, I saw your video. Like, your wife let you do that? And in my head, I'm like, yo, she was the one who thought of the idea. And you know what I'm saying? Came up to the models, and she, we know what it takes, man. We want to get somewhere, so that's what we do, man. That's what we do, man. But
but
I would definitely say, say, man, it's. Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm.
No, my bad. Because I want to say this, like, before I'm sorry I cut you off. You can finish after I say this point. Because I want everybody to listen, like, especially for a man. It is very important, to find that person, that woman that that's gonna even sacrifice some of her time to make sure that your career is great. You know what I'm saying? That make sure that everything is good with you and supports you, in your career and stuff, and vice versa. Even for a man to support his woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always felt like one of the most healthiest relationships is when, two people support each other so much. Like, I always say that was
There's nothing like it.
I always say that was the major thing. Like, love is one of the major things. Communication is one of the major things. But I always felt like having faith and having a great support system, to me, is like the top two. Is because without that, you could love someone, but you don't have to support them. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like, I have a fiance. Me and her about to get married this year. When I made that choice was the fact that she supported me. She genuinely support me in what I do, because I do a lot of stuff. Like, I do the music, I do the podcast, I work as well. Like, like yourself. We both go to school too as well. So it's like, you find that person that wants that greatness to happen, for you. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? But what you were saying?
Like it.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. What you were saying now?
You hear me?
Bad. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I was just saying, it's nothing like that of a person that genuinely loves you. And I always recommend, man, as a man or as a woman, like, if you find it, just go hard to keep that in your life, because you might not find it again.
Yeah, man.
You might not find it again.
Yeah, man.
But absolutely, man. Just a lot of the thing. I mean, especially with music, man. They promote a lot of single, being single, being a savage. These are things, that they say in the song, and it sounds good. I'm a savage, and then you go out and live that life, and you find yourself all alone.
Yeah.
And by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not built to be a savage.
I feel like nobody's built to be a savage, honestly. I just... Nah, for real, because, like...
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm definitely not built as one, because I went through a time where, I ain't really care about love. I ain't really care about no female, and I was just,
I think we all have.
Yeah, just dating a whole bunch of females and stuff, and for the wrong reasons. And, like I told one of my homeboys, I feel alone. I got all these females, and, like, they want to talk to me about their problems, but I don't have no one ready to talk about my problems, like that one person. You feel me? To them, because you gotta understand, like, when you talk to multiple, as a man, when you talk to multiple women are very emotional, so in their mind, they think that you're the only one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, you're not the only one, and I don't have that I ain't have that emotional connection like I have now with my fiance, soon to be wife. Like, with her, like I told her the other day, I was like, you the one who I always go to. Like, whenever something hit the fan or whatever, new things come up or whatever, I go to you. I don't go to nobody else. You know, that's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of my album comes from when I was younger, dealing with multiple females. I have a lot of songs coming from that standpoint of just being young and the understanding of a young-minded individual. But is what was I going to say? When you're going through that, I mean, at that time I was hurt. I was dealing with a lot of things in life.
yeah,
And one of the things they say is hurt people. But I don't know if I was ever really a negative person, because even during those times, I would tell females when they met me, like, you know what, you shouldn't deal with me because I'm not in the frame of mind to be in a relationship. I'm not looking for a relationship, nor am I going to be in a relationship with you. And a lot of times, girls would still choose to, be my friend or whatever you want to call it. And I think, like I said, the time I was in the streets, even though I was from Connecticut, I was still pretty popular in North Carolina. They used to say, like, one side of town was my side of town.
mm-hmm.
And I guess everybody knew me, so I think a lot of girls felt comfortable, like, oh, this dude is strong, this dude is known, a lot of things that people like. But I used to say at the same time, like, yeah, a lot of females like me, but a lot of these dudes don't like the fact that I came from another state and I'm in their state doing my thing, and the girls like me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's cool to go out to the club and know everybody and spend a bunch of money, but that's on Friday. But on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, dudes want to kill you type shit, like, and not not just saying that, but like, real stuff going on.
No, it's real.
And there was just a lot of stuff going on in my life, man, that at the time I tried to keep people away from. Like, even though sometimes I'll meet a good girl she's going to church, it's like, oh man, like, this is somebody I could see myself with, but I'll just be like, nah, I'm not even gonna go there because that's not where I'm at in life.
Yeah, I can't.
So even when I met my wife,
yeah,
I wasn't looking, but I wasn't looking to meet anybody. And this a lot of females ask me, like, yo, how did it happen, or how do I meet a husband? I always tell people, focus on yourself. You know what I mean? This is what men. I mean, I'm sure you could agree. Like, a guy's not looking for a girl that's looking for them. Like, if that's what you're doing, you're trying to fit their mode. They're just gonna walk all over you. I mean,
yeah.
Even in business, if you just going out for a business, you're like, hey, I'll clean up the shop. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'll do this. I'll do that. They're not gonna pay you no more to do that because you already doing it. You know?
Yeah.
So,
like I always say,
you
like,
just gotta make yourself.
No, I'm just saying, like, finish what you were saying, so I can.
I'm just saying, you have to build the worth of yourself, and this is something that I take on in music too. Like, I don't just put my music out and hope for the best. Like, no, I connect with people that's doing things, and I promote myself in a strong way, and I research. I look around. I'm my own concept artist. Me and my wife. I think hard about stuff. I follow trends, and I'm real just researched and what's going on in the world and what the kids need, man. And it's just crazy how people take my music on. And like I said, a lot of people hear my music and they say this is the best album that they heard in their life, and they just want more of it. So I'm just excited, man.
Yeah, man. I definitely have to. I'm gonna listen to that album today, and I'll give you my feedback. I like to give artists, because me and you, we about to work. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
I like to give artists they true feedback on everything. What I was about to say, but yeah, like, going about the women, like, it's true. Like, when I was doing that time, like, I had women who wanted to do a lot of stuff for me and things like that. But in my mind, I was like, to me, that's more like a trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to impress me type stuff. And I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted someone who, yeah, they could do that sometimes, but like, really, I wanted somebody that would support me, but also someone that I could be, I could call like my best friend as well. So stuff like that ain't really a big thing for me. But yeah, man.